What's up, everybody? I hope it all is well. Come on, Izzy. My cat. Jesus. It's pretty early today to stream, but hey, better than nothing. Jesus. Jesus, I couldn't fucking change the camera back. Good Lord. Good Lord. Mm. right back. I gotta use the restroom again. I shall return. Oh, man. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
Then what about you, right? You obviously left off famously again. And again, sorry for my poor memory. I don't know if you were competing still, or if you left when you were just a creator, or like what was it like leading off this decision?
Yeah, so it was after College Champs AW. We won 3 events that year. College Champs was one we were supposed to win, and we got 17th place. And I kind of knew in my head that there was no way, at least from my perception of it, that I could stay on the team competing after we lost College Champs. Like I felt like Chris hated me. They were probably feeling the pressure that they thought they could do better with somebody else. And at that time, after 3 events and Aqua being as big as it's ever been, this wasn't like a new feeling for me. And YouTube was going so well for me at the time. And I was talking to my ex at that period where I'm like, dude, I don't know, Chris, I could go make more money. I could go just do YouTube full time. And me quitting competitive didn't really have to do with eventually leaving Optic. It was more so I just didn't want the responsibility and the stress of trying to keep this team together and constantly being the scapegoat for if we would lose. Why I'm the reason why we lost. And I really hated the way that losing would make me feel and the way that it would make me react. Because, like you said with Jordan, you're kind of very competitive. I think a lot of men are competitive by nature, but I really struggled with losing because I never got to feel what it would be like to lose if I wasn't on the biggest team that had the most pressure. And it's a blessing and a curse. Like my life is the reason it is today because of those years I spent on Optic. But I always am curious to see what it would have been like to be a pro player away from that, aside from like the success and my life as it is today, just how I would have been feeling about competing if there wasn't that much pressure to win every single tournament that we played. I decided to leave the team. I never officially retired. I just said I'm taking a break. So they're going to sign somebody. They ended up bringing in, I think, Enable for a couple events, but it was going to be Karma, yada yada yada. The rest is the Food Dynasty. Yeah. But then I was going to LA every couple weeks to see my ex-girlfriend at the time, and when you're young in a relationship like that, there's not really many things that are going to stop you from pursuing it. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave up. I'm going to leave the content house. I'm going to move to LA. Can't believe I did that to this day. And YouTube kept going pretty well for me. And I was in that relationship for a long time. But there was just a lot of, which, if you watch my stream now, you know how hard I speak about everything. When it's a 17 game, our team playing while I'm doing a watch party. I'm just an overthinker by nature. And my biggest problem with Optic at that time was that going back to the thing that we had no salaries and Hector would bring us money as he could, but Hector was always in a really tough position, and I could feel the stress. He didn't show it off, but I could feel the stress of him having to make decisions on whether and how to divvy up money that comes in, because you got to make decisions for not only all the players, then he has his family, he has his own career, and then he has the team. There's just a lot of things I think that circulated through his brain, and you might tell the story differently or not, but that's the way I felt. And I just felt like if I were doing my own thing and didn't have to worry about the rules of engagement that happen while being on a team that I'm not getting paid to be on, I can't waste. I just quit competitive, which is everything that I've ever known. Yeah. And that was what allowed me to have this YouTube career. Brand deals start popping up. I have to say no to certain opportunities. At the time, Hector had told me about some ownership in the company, and with now how I understand it today, I think he was telling the truth. But just legally and how you file everything from like a corporation perspective and taxes and timing, I started to sort of see doubt in whether he was actually myself to worry about now. I need to make as much money as possible. It's only been a couple years since I dropped out of college. I don't know if this is forever. Every day I wake up, I'll go to YouTube. I'm like, this might be the day where nobody clicks on the video, which I'm sure you felt a million times before. So at that point, after having conversations with my ex at the time, and her sister was really big on YouTube, the idea sort of stemmed in my head. Well, what if I just did this solo? And it was honestly, now that I think about it, the hardest part wasn't leaving Optic. It was sort of like losing conviction in my relationship with Hector, because at that point I thought he was like, and still is now, obviously, one of my best friends, and I genuinely care about him and his family. I have a lot of he's like a brother, but you're young and you got all of these ideas swirling around in your head, and I decided that it would be better for me if I could go try to capitalize on this thing that I was doing by myself and not worry about all this yellow tape, which hindsight now to me was one of the best and worst decisions I've ever made in my life. After that happened, me and Hector didn't speak for a while. I think I told the story on Streamer Podcast a couple months back, but I didn't care about the gap between me and Optic. I just, how I actually tell a story about someone of I'm just not going to talk to them anymore? Yeah. I went up to him when there was a party in LA, and he was there, and I went up to talk to the circle he was in, and I never felt more uncomfortable in my life, which is insane to feel, knowing what my relationship was like with Hector. And he just looked at me, nodded, and didn't say a word. And so that sat with me for clicked on this video, you would know who Merc Music / Eric is, a Call of Duty channel who at its peak was receiving 2 million views per video, to now unable to scratch even 100,000 views a video. But what caused this downfall to happen? But before we move on to that segment, what made Eric's channel so popular in the first place? Well, as Brain Theory broke it down, it was his personality, editing, and crew. Now Eric's crew held many members: Merc Rampage, Andrew, G-Knives, Omar, and many more. All these people had great chemistry with one another, ultimately making Eric's videos more engaging and entertaining. However, as of 2024, none of these people have been seen on Eric's channel. So why is that the case? Well, the downfall initially started in April 2018. On January 30th, 2018, Eric uploaded a video titled "Meet My Girlfriend Karina" onto his channel. He explained to his audience how he had met a girl through Snapchat that he started e-dating. So I added this person back, and then I got a message from her saying, "Hey, guess what?" And obviously I replied back saying, "What?" And then she said, "Chicken butt." And it was super corny, but it was interesting to me. For whatever reason, it was enough to get my attention at that point. I was intrigued, and I kept messaging her. And it got to a point where we were just messaging each other back and forth and getting to know each other better. And as we were messaging back and forth, I could tell that we were really clicking, and I wanted to actually talk to this girl. Eric then explained how in the video he was going to fly out from Washington to see her, as they both live in different states. Which is why when you're seeing this video on the 30th on a Tuesday, I'm going to be out in Washington meeting her for the first time. Words can't even describe how excited I am to actually be able to meet her and spend time with her. And without necessarily getting too specific, let's just say that I'm ready to commit to her and that she's my future. The next video Eric uploaded was titled "The Future," where he essentially talked about the future of his life and channel. However, what caught everyone's attention is when he announced that
I used to like this
girlfriend
dude, Merc Music.
If you don't follow me on Twitter or you just happened to miss yesterday's video, I actually proposed to her and she's now living here. But yeah, things are going extremely well. I'm actually really happy with how everything has been going. After the statement, people started commenting on how they disagreed with Eric's decision.
Him introducing his girlfriend was literally his downfall, honestly. It was good for him. Don't get me wrong, it was good for him.
Honestly, Mark, I'm happy for you. She seems
But
like a nice girl, but getting married 2 months into a relationship is insane.
yeah, it's kind of weird, man.
And she's probably a great person, but you should take time to consider that marriage is a serious thing, and sometimes it's not as easy as just getting a divorce and being it's over. Some channels even went as far as to make videos on it, such as the former YouTuber Apex. Nevertheless, Eric began to upload videos with his girlfriend. However, the videos were heavily disliked because a part of its audience either did not like this new content or Karina personally. Now, 2 months after he had announced his relationship with Karina, Eric would upload a video titled Reacting to Toxic Comments, where he addressed the hate he and his girlfriend were receiving in videos.
The whole reason I'm bringing this up in the first place is because some of the shit that I've been seeing in my comment section has been extremely hurtful and hateful and just downright wrong. Just because some of you guys don't like my fiance or you don't think that she's funny doesn't mean that you have to say some of the shit that you've been saying. I don't personally see the problem with doing videos with her every so often, and I'm still doing solo videos and still doing videos with my friends. I don't feel like she's really being given a chance in the first place and that she's just kind of being shot down right from the start. Yeah, it's pretty unfair.
Eric had even responded to channels making videos on the situation in Twitter, such as Apex. The people that actually support me, love me, or care about me, Karina, my family, my friends, and the fans who are blindly believing what Apex is saying. You really think he knows best? That he somehow has a better grasp of our relationship than the two people actually in it? Of course. The video he was going to fly out to Washington, frankly, as the two had only known each other for a couple of years before something it's over. Some channels even went as far as videos on the situation in Twitter, such as Apex. The people that actually support me, love me, or care about me are Karina, my family, my friends, and fans who are blindly believing what Apex is saying. You really think he knows best? That he somehow has a better grasp of our relationship than the two people actually in it? Of course not. It's just his way of exploiting and growing on YouTube, which is disgusting and upsetting. It's even more disappointing because he used to have an old channel where he made actual content based around his actual personality and gameplay, but now he's stooped to a level lower than dirt. Apex, if you actually care, have a shred of respect, or want to show that you're a mature adult here, take down the videos you've made about us. You think it's funny to lie about other people in YouTube videos and profit and grow off of it, but you're hurting people that don't deserve it. I don't actually expect you to do it, but you never know. It's the least I can do for Karina since it's been affecting her the worst. Several months after this drama had ended, Eric announced in May that he was taking a break from YouTube.
Mentally, physically, and creatively, I need this break. For quite some time now, I've given YouTube priority over a number of things in my life. I've turned down plans with friends, I've turned down plans with family. Over many years, I've sacrificed many hours to do YouTube instead of doing other things in my life. And to be honest, I'm kind of tired of YouTube taking control of my life.
However, this is not the last of the drama. In 2020, 2 years after the controversy, Eric's audience started to question why his friends were no longer present in his videos. Well, in September 2020, several of Eric's ex-friends came out on Twitter explaining what had happened. The first thing was Rampage. Even to this day, people are still asking where I am in Eric's videos. The fact of the matter is, a few weeks ago, Omar, Andrew, and I had noticed that he and his girlfriend had unfollowed all of us and blocked/unblocked to stop us from following them. This removal was done on all platforms: Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Discord, even Origin on PC, making it difficult to reach out. I tried sending an email to the one I have, asking what the reason was, and got no reply. It's a damn shame. I've been supporting him personally and his channel for many, many years. It's the same with Andrew and Omar, if not more so. Oh well, we had fun. Don't read these tweets and be upset. Even though this has happened, I still wish nothing but prosperity for Eric. I grew up talking to him every day, and he's the reason you all even know of my account. Anyway, Merc Music, I wish you the best in life, and I hope your wedding is absolutely beautiful and everything you want it to be. The next person that came out on Twitter was Andrew. A few weeks and months went by, and we were all now living in the era of a global pandemic. I had talked to Eric/Karina in a little while, and I opened up his Twitter account for the first time in ages to send them a DM in our private group chat. I wished them all well and told them we needed to catch up sometime soon since we hadn't really talked, let alone played games in quite some time. That never happened though. A few weeks later, I tried sending Eric a text as a hurricane was approaching Florida. I never got a reply from that text and kind of brushed it off and chalked it up to him being busy. Then, like I said, a few weeks later, I noticed that they had unfollowed all of us and essentially cut us out of their lives. I was stunned and upset. Andrew also stated that when Eric and Karina were planning their wedding, Eric had initially asked Andrew to be his best man, but later on changed his mind and made Karina's brother his best man, which ended up hurting Andrew. Now, the next person who also came out on Twitter was Ben, and by looking at his tweets, he was the angriest out of all of them. With all my friends making statements, I just wanted to speak my mind. I wasn't friends with Eric as long as Mike, Omar, or Andrew, but I felt like we got along well for the most part. After he got engaged, he just
phase. We stopped talking after a while, and eventually I unfollowed. The night Eric blocked me, Karina tweeted saying that we were trying to break up the friend group. That infuriated me, and I had tried to be supportive, but when all this drama happened, I distanced myself. I later heard that the reason I was blocked was because I wasn't publicly supporting their relationship, which made me even angrier. So according to Eric and Karina, I had to defend them while things in my life were going to shit. I had enough of that. Now, after all these tweets came out, Eric never responded to them. However, Karina did on Twitter. I really thought some people were actually better. I had a stroke last year, and plans changed, okay? Nothing was done to hurt anybody intentionally. Now, what Karina doesn't elaborate on is what Eric's friends actually lied about. She stated they made false claims about her family and life, even though that's not what they did. Karina stated that Andrew lied about who was going to be the best man at the wedding, but then went on to contradict herself in the same tweet as each of their lives became busier. However, for some reason, Eric and Karina decided to remove and block all of them. And to this day, no one knows why. Although Ben did mention the reason he was blocked was apparently he did not publicly support the relationship, that doesn't make any sense to me, because why would they block their friends for not publicly supporting Eric and Karina's relationship 2 years after the drama? Maybe that was one of the reasons, and if that was one reason, why, then that's beyond stupid. Why do your friends have to get involved in drama that has nothing to do with them? Anyway, after all of Eric's ex-friends came out on Twitter, Eric started to remove his videos of them on the channel. One series Eric had on his channel was called Shit Someone Says, which was a compilation of iconic quotes spoken by each of his friends. The 2 videos he ended up removing were videos of Merc, Rampage, and Andrew. Eric also started to retitle videos that included his ex-friends' names. One video on his second channel playing Mortal Kombat was titled Team Farted on Me, later on being retitled to It Farted on Me. What I find funny about this is, in Eric's response video to the hate his girlfriend had received, he was angry about the fact people were referring to his girlfriend as a thing/object.
This person said, ew, the thing is back. It's obviously disrespectful and just rude, but it's not even creative in the slightest. Like, I really don't get how the fucking has that many thumbs up. It's just weird.
However, it was the exact same thing for his ex-friends. Eric also went on to delete any donations that mentioned his ex-friends or the drama in live streams. So what caused the death of Merc Music's career? Well, there are several factors. One of the reasons I believe because his friends with whom he had great banter and chemistry in videos were no longer being featured. And to this day, we'll never know why. I mean, you can try asking Eric himself, but he'll just believe your message. However, the main reason I believe his career has met its demise is because he has been uploading the same type of content for years. For example, Eric has a Call of Duty channel, and for the last few years, the Call of Duty series has died, meaning no one cares about the games anymore and would prefer to watch something else on YouTube. Not only that, but Eric has stuck to the same video format since 2016. I mean, you can see in his thumbnails, he still uses the same thumbnail style and format from several years ago. He even makes videos on old COD games, such as Advanced Warfare, a game that came out a decade ago now. And we all know on YouTube, your content must change and adapt to current time.
But it's so bad. I do my best though. You know, what do you do? What do you do? You try your best. Unfortunately, now that channel got taken down in 2008 because 17-year-old Anthony thought it'd be a good idea to upload a Dark Knight clip. And much like that pencil in the clip I uploaded, my channel also disappeared. Well, is my channel strike YouTube? I don't know if there's a YouTube 20 years ago. So with that being said, if you're one of like the 20 people that did get a chance to see that 20 years ago, welcome. Now, but most of you guys do know this show, but this channel that we're on right now didn't start as chill chaos. It actually started as Serious Gamers. It was for a GameStop. I'm gonna age myself right now. It was for a GameSpot unit, which is essentially like the website GameSpot.com. They have like forums and people hang out and it's really like other people. Yeah, we went with Serious Gamers. With the C, you know, because that's always not confusing branding. I mean, then of course, like the decade of people saying, "Hey, are you Prius Gamers? Hey, are you Furious Gamers?" If you didn't know that, that's some more for you. But then somewhere around the mid-2010s, YouTube was releasing channel names, and they were able to give me back Chill Chaos, so now we're back at youtube.com/Chill the elephant in the room, or the totally inflated turkey to the room. So why are you telling us all of this? One, because it's important to me. YouTube, Twitch, online content creation, shows chaos. It's been my identity over 20 years. There is no Anthony without at this point there is no chill chaos without Anthony, and there is no Anthony without chill chaos. You thought yours could get parasocial? You know how parasocial I can get with myself. It's not sexual. Essentially, those two personalities, I don't think they're really ever good. I don't think they can be separated. If I'm being honest, it's a really easy to play down. But you guys have literally witnessed the evolution.
Oh, good baby.
Me being
Really
a
good baby.
speaker all the way to now. You have seen the whole evolution of Anthony and Chill Chaos, and I'm so grateful that you came on my journey. But at the age of 34, which is young, I can only consider some of my peers at the time. But at the age of 34, I think it's time to see how Anthony grows without Chill Chaos. I think it's time for me to put down the monitor and see what else I'm good at, see what else I want to do, and see what else brings me joy or passion or happiness. But in order for 34-year-old Anthony to keep going, I kind of need to figure out who he is when the camera isn't running, when Chill isn't the one driving, or should I say hunting or princessing. I want to watch Anthony grow, and I want to measure that not in numbers and metrics and viewer counts and subs, but I want to mention that I want to measure that in like physical growth and mental growth in me as a person. I want my body of work to expand. I want to be known for different things. And just for the record, as all parents say to all divorced kids, this isn't your fault. This actually is not. This is not your fault. I have been blessed to the heavens with such an awesome community. So don't you legally have to tent? No, I actually don't legally have to tent. There's some people that I absolutely despise. And I like reading your chat logs out in public because it embarrasses you. But 99% of you guys, you have been groomed. The compassion that you guys have shown each other, especially like in the last 6-7 years, when we're kind of in that streaming sphere where there's almost instantaneous feedback and you guys have an active chat where you're all talking to each other, has been nothing but commendable. I mean, I really do count my lucky stars that I got saddled with a group of good friends and good mentors and moderators that molded this community into a very empathetic one. And not just like the joking, like, oh, I'm an empath, by the way, but the ones that, like, you guys do care about streaming. The amount of people that I see in chat every single day that check in on each other, that one's fun. I like to see it. So my only request would be in the future to keep that same energy. To kind of always look out for that one person who seems like they're having a bad day and checking in on them. So I will try and give a breakdown of at least the plan in my head. May 29th, May 30th, my birthday, and also someone else's birthday. I don't know who, but someone else's. And May 31st, we're going to turn into a 3-day live stream type event. I know. It kind of it doesn't feel real saying it, but I have to say it for it to be true. Shadows, memories. Maybe I promised myself on day 3 to not cry or get emotional, but we will see how that goes. No promises. All right. So what happens after the 31st? Great question. Besides panic, which don't paranoid panic. That doesn't sound like it at all. I wanted to start something, I guess akin to, I don't have a name for it yet, I guess Chill Chaos TV or Chill Chaos reruns or whatever the thing might be. I want to create a 20 to Well, it's been 2 weeks since the nights off. Well, it's been 2 weeks since the nights off their phone thing. And as you can see, it ain't looking too bad, really. Could always be a little more paint in the base. Luckily for Sarko, we got a package in the mail from Indiana the other day. Turns out the company we bought the pink pawn dye from is huge fans of Sarko's. And they sent her a whole gallon of the pink pawn dye. They also sent us this crystal blue and a nice
All right, Stalker, it says to do a gallon per acre. You think that's about an acre?
No, man, pour it all. Dave, you don't need the kayak. Just pour it in regular.
Sucker, where's your sense of adventure?
Well, at least grab your life jacket.
Put the whole damn thing in there?
Yes.
I decided not to take the kayak because there was a bunch of frogs in there. I didn't get no wheels.
Do you really need that thing on your head?
So I don't need no damn life jacket. Watch out, Bubby.
Be careful.
All right, Bubby, try not to get right directly into the Klondike this time, big boy, please.
Let him do what he wants. He's fine.
You want a pink dog?
Yes. Ooh, that's so pretty.
Bubby, you don't have to go right into her, Bub. Hell. Oh, God, Bubby.
Don't fall in. Do a backflip.
I can't do a backflip. Alrighty, it's been about an hour since we got it, and this is what it looks like so far. I think it's going to look a lot pinker. Now, a lot of you think the pond eye is dangerous for the wildlife, but today I'm going to tell you it's not. Come on, Paul, the monster! Hey, good job, buddy. Alrighty, well, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll give you a nice update on the pond.
Oh my God. Stop. Блядь, я долбоёб. I'm lonesome but happy.
I noticed the other day we were a little low on washer. I picked up some 2010. We said we top out the old tank. You and me. It'll be full.
Pretty low.
Any luck you had about to run fast? You did not care. You lost. You're not only shit to me. You fools. Any luck you had?
Oh, man, how you doing, brother? Hey, what's your name, man? George, nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you, bro. My name's Jake. Nice to meet you, man. Oh, you.
Lord, I'm just grateful that I got to wake up today. You take my word.
Where's my pickle beer?
Pickle beer. Ew.
So I impulsively bought these ducks at my country store, and I want to take them swimming. I gotta get them warm water though. I'm using this code. They're gonna love it. I got my tub full of warm water.
I'm the executive producer.
Okay, pull the other one, buddy. Yeah, all right, get out.
Do you know who I am? Hey, the women that we know.
Charlotte.
Rocco.
Liz.
Desiree.
Janice.
Cheyenne.
And I knew I saw stuff.
Is this fast 12 upgraded good, Evan?
Upgrade to my center head.
started mocking the firefighters. The firefighters quickly hoisted up an
Another spot, this one is more intense. This is happening in Yellowstone right now, guys. Listen to this. Oh, hell. Somebody like White Star Deodorant would say, I'll give you $1 million for 1 day of work and you take it.
So probably one of the funny.
It's fucking Vanoss. That's a good point. I'm getting the button. It's fucking Vanoss.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's fucking Vanoss.
I'm not a lawyer and this isn't legal advice, but it's funny as fuck. I was having lunch with my lawyer and we were just talking about random shit. I was like, hey, if somebody breaks into my house and I legally kill them in self-defense, do I have to call 911? She's like, I am not aware of any law that says that you have to report the fact that you killed somebody in self-defense as long as the shoot was legal. She says, let me go back to the office, do some more research, I'll call you back. 2 days later, she calls me back. She's like, all right, I've got some news. She says, in North Carolina, I cannot find any law that says that you have to call and report that you killed somebody if it was in self-defense and the shoot was legal. I was like, great, so what do I actually have to do? She's like, I'm so glad you asked. Legally, you do have to properly bury them. She said that there is a law against improper disposal of a body. I was like, all right, is there anything else? She said, yeah, you got to call 811 before you dig a hole. She's like, that's state and federal law. I was like, bet, so I need to call 811 instead of 911. Gotcha. I'm not a lawyer and this isn't legal. Yo, what are these animations, bro? This game's not even playable anymore.
Yeah, it might be time to switch games, man. Wait a second. May 12th, major bug fixes, Alan Wake event, and 2 new games?
Can I get that mountain piece nugget?
How many nuggets?
A melon.
So I finally found it. And somebody tell me what the hell it got to do with chicken nuggets.
Can I get that mountain piece nugget?
What can I get for you, Joseph?
What the fuck?
Chicken nuggets.
Remind me to
Okay. Thank you for the help.
Why?
What it's like working as an electrician. Your alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. You stretch. Something in your shoulder pops in a way it didn't pop last year. You drink coffee standing up. You pack a lunch. You walk out to the van. The van has not been organized since you took it home. The van will never be organized again. You stop at the supply house at 6:30. You need 12-gauge Romex, 3 ground fault circuit interrupters outlets, a half-inch conduit, and 1 specific connector. They have everything except the connector. They never have the connector. You buy 2 of something else and figure it out. At 7 o'clock, you arrive at the first job. The foreman gives you the day's tasks in approximately 3 seconds and walks away. You did not catch all of it. You will figure it out. At 7:30, you're pulling Romex through the attic of a 1962 ranch. It is 110 degrees up there. There is pink insulation in every part of your body that pink insulation should never be. At 9 o'clock, the homeowner appears. She asks if, while you're here, you could also look at her ceiling fan, fix the porch light, and check why the GFCI in the bathroom keeps tripping. You smile. You say, let's start with what we're here for. You are not starting with what you're here for. At 10:30, you open the panel. The previous electrician was not an electrician. 3 breakers are double tapped. A hot wire is wrapped in electrical tape from 1987. There's a wire going into the box that doesn't go anywhere. You take a picture. You will show your foreman. He will laugh in a tired way. At 11 o'clock, the apprentice asks where the wire stretcher is. You send him to the supply house. You will never tell him there is no such thing. At 12 o'clock, you eat lunch in the van. Sandwich, chips, a Gatorade that is somehow warm and cold at the same time. You scroll your phone. You stare at the ceiling of the van for a minute. You go back to work. At 1:30, you're at the second job, a new build. The drywall guys hung the rock right over an outlet box you were supposed to make up. The plumber ran a pipe through your stud bay. You stand there. You breathe through your nose. You start cutting. At 3 o'clock, you test a circuit you swore you killed at the panel. The tester lights up. You pause. You walk back to the panel. The breaker labeled garage controls the upstairs hallway. Of course it does. At 4:30, the homeowner asks if you can be done by 5. The job is a 2-day job. You say, we'll see what we can do. At 5:30, you load tools back into the van. You sweep up the wire scraps. You leave the site cleaner than you found it because that's just what you do. You drive home with the radio low. Your hands are cut up. Your knees are sore. Your shirt has insulation in it that will never come out, even after washing. You shower for a long time. You eat dinner standing up. You fall asleep on the couch. What it's like working as an electrician. Your alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. You stretch.
They said he's a black, one-eyed Scottish farmer. Some kind of
Scottish? What? Oh my god. I'm mad. No.
So I hired a kid from South Africa. He was one of the best employees that I ever had. Let me tell you about it. When you said workday starts at 8, he's there at 6, washing the trucks so they look good for the boss when he comes in. There was never, ever a question about an instruction that I gave. He just did it as fast as he humanly could. Fuck a smoke break. He didn't smoke. He worked the whole time, no breaks. When everybody else is complaining it's hot outside, he's like, this is not hot. No, we got motherfucker. When he came to this country, he didn't have a car. So he walked 2.5 miles to work every day, and 2.5 miles home. Sometimes we gave him rides because it'd be like raining, but he didn't mind. Fuck fast food. He packed his lunch every single day because he's saving money. Inside of 3 months, he had an idea to start his own business, and I did everything I could to help him. He's off doing his own thing now, and wildly successful. The thing is immigrants do every day what born Americans bitch about and say isn't possible. So stop being a weak ass motherfucker, in his words. So I hired a kid from I'll be here in a minute. You know what bullshit is? They stitching that big boy all the time to my right. Alright! Y'all getting it done? Hurry up and go to the car!
What the hell? Don't know what that was about.
Well, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Come spend the day with us.
As you can see, we got a packed house here today.
got my mother here today to watch Joseph.
And my mom's here too to also help the baby.
Air conditioning went out, so we had to get a new air conditioner and put that in today. It's not a complete day around here unless you get an Amazon package. Already took Bubby and Aria to the vet today. They're doing good. Here's the main project of the day, getting soft a little bit.
Good job, boys. Gotta go get the boys some drinks.
Well, we got her up. Bubby and Aria's cousins are here. Big dog. Ah, baby.
Here you go, baby.
Thank you.
How long till it's filled up?
It'll take about 12 hours.
12 hours?
Well, thanks for spending the day with us. Tomorrow we'll give you another update on the pool.
In Skyrim, if you hold a fork, save the game, and reload, the game will teleport you to the nearest fork. This lets you create your own fast travel points.
Dumb bitch.
No, I'm fine. I just ran into your house.
Turning it over to Kevin, we've got today's lunch menu. So, today's lunch menu, we are having Salisbury steak, with a side of dried collard greens, and your choice of a fruit cake or banana pudding. The food at this school makes my diarrhea red. Today's history will be brought by Sadie. So, today's history that happened today is that Susie in the third grade crap her pants and read.
That's one thing that people say in your profession pretty much always.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. So when you go to pump a septic tank, you dig up the tank and you take the lid off. And most of the time, the homeowner's sitting there watching you. Now, on top of the tank, there's going to be like a crust layer. And the homeowner looks at it and goes, wow, that looks really full. And the pumper goes, yep, you're full, time for a pump. Excuse me, motherfucker, you have no way of telling how full that is. A septic tank is always supposed to be full of water because inlet and out.
Most insane glitches in Pokemon history. Back in 2000, finding a shiny Pokemon in gold and silver was statistically impossible for most kids. The odds were just 1 in 8,192, meaning you could play for hundreds of hours and never see that sparkle. But decades later, players discovered a translation error that lets you force a shiny encounter instantly. You see, the English versions of the games had a mistake in the coding for the coin case item. It was missing a specific stop command, which meant that when you used it, the game wouldn't stop reading the text and would eventually crash straight into the game's memory, executing data as if it were computer code. But to actually control this chaos, you have to perform a bizarre ritual. You need to catch a Quagsire, give it a specific item, and most importantly, rename your PC boxes to seemingly random strings of gibberish like Happy 0-55. Once that is done, you have to stand outside the Cherry Grove Mart, take exactly 4 steps to the right, and listen to a Bellsprout's cry in your Pokedex to align the memory. But the result that comes from doing this is actually insane. These strange box names are actually raw assembly code that you wrote into the game. By walking those 4 steps and playing that sound, you trick the game into running your box names as a program that rewrites the hidden genetics, or DBs, of the first Pokemon in your party. So the second you open your bag and use that coin case, the code executes, and your ordinary Pokemon instantly transforms into a legitimate shiny. Most insane glitches in Pokemon history. Back in 2000, finding a shiny Pokemon in gold and silver was statistically...
One of my buddies told me his game
We're going to play a serious So how much are you looking to get for it?
100.
A pineapple. What a lemon. I mean, this is a pretty firm pineapple.
Folding into Monday.
I just walked straight in the fucking bed. What a one.
The customer who brought me the TV with the upside down.
Hey, so quick question. Who's the seat for it? What about them? Just don't care about them, huh? Just let them get whisked away. Just in the middle getting beat like an egg. Hey, so quick question. Who? Holy shit!
This unique staff in Skyrim Anniversary Edition allows you to permanently reanimate in.
When I found myself
What does it take to become an emergency medical?
Everclear? Oh my gosh! Are you trying to just turn your liver into a coal mine? Damn, boy, you still drink Fireball? Well, you either think you're still 17 years old or you're actively losing your custody battle. Hennessy.
Interesting.
You got a Dodge Charger by chance? Everclear? Oh,
After his divorce, his daughter started living with him. When his daughter asked him to braid her hair, the father, not wanting his daughter to miss anything because of him, spent long hours learning on YouTube to fulfill her wish.
Oh, heck yeah!
you're way downtown, walking fast, trains and spots, and I'm and I need him.
Ew.
This should get you an intergalactic band from Kitchens and
Mom. Mom. Dad. Dad.
Boy. Partners heat map on the bed, too. Cool, comfortable, 98.6 Fahrenheit. Your partner's body, 5,800 Kelvin, slightly hotter than the surface of the sun. Your partner's feet, negative 535. Crisp autumn day on Neptune. Who has a dog who's always on fire. Partner.
Yes, no.
Yeah, why can't you smell me? Well, I can't smell anything.
You think that sword is one of a kind? Not quite. You grab it in the dungeon and move on. But look closer. Behind the word wall, there's another one. Same sword, just sitting there. Can't reach it? You can. Use a blizzard spell or scroll and push it right to you. No puzzles, no fights. And that's when you realize, sometimes the game hides duplicates in plain.
Let me check the temperature real quick.
YouTubers who were exposed in front.
You drink well water? Oh yeah, you're talking for real. Only energy drink. Boy, you're kidding me. You're crying for help. Filtered fresh water. All right, Mr. Fancy Pants. You too good for tap water? Is that it? You boil your water before you drink it? Why, dude? I mean, just drink water. You drink well water.
So everyone always asks, why do we get paid so much less?
Oh, slow down, Jesus. does today feel like it's boring? Like, for real. It's just feels like it's boring. Like, granted, I'm not doing anything, but fuck.
Is he allowed to touch your hair? You know, I learned I couldn't touch something's hair on our very first date. We went out to a Mexican restaurant, had a couple drinks, got buzzed up, eventually got kicked out and thought they wouldn't quit vaping. Then we left there and had to the liquor store and...
Alright, that's a PlayStation 2, otherwise known as a PlayStation 2 fucking Extreme. When you turn it on, you see how there's no writing on here? See how these buttons are just blunt? Get across the map on me.
Hold on, son. We need to check your candy first.
It's Mario time, bitches.
You're not Mexican, Paul. You're white. You're not Mexican, Paul. You're white.
Nobody cares. It's broken down.
This was the moment a man begged for his life after becoming trapped inside a white tiger enclosure at a zoo in New Delhi, India. After reportedly crossing a safety barrier and falling 18 feet into a moat surrounding the exhibit, 20-year-old Maksud backed himself against a wall as a massive white tiger named BJ slowly approached him. Witnesses watched in horror as the terrified man put his hands together in a pleading gesture and begged to be spared while the tiger stood just inches away, appearing to contemplate what to do. For several minutes, the animal appeared strangely calm, while crowds of people screamed and threw rocks in a desperate attempt to distract it. But the commotion eventually agitated the tiger, which suddenly lunged at Maksud, grabbed him by the neck, and dragged him across the enclosure in front of horrified visitors. By the time zoo staff regained control of the situation, the 20-year-old man had already died from catastrophic neck injuries and suffocation. BJ was not killed afterward, with zoo officials stating the tiger had simply acted on instinct after a person entered his enclosure. This was the moment.
Why doesn't have a turbo? Hello?
Roy. Roy.
Nah, dude, I'm gonna win this time, dude. What your blue collar job says about you? Welder, you either drive a clapped-out truck with a muffler or a 2500 diesel that you wax every single Sunday. Your welding hood costs more than somebody's rent. But you say, it ain't that hard. You think every other trade is just salt. Electrician.
What are you doing? I don't want to rob the place, man. Tell me what need this. $20 on pump number 15 and a sour fruity twist. You a cop? No.
Bastards have tried this too many times.
Oh, listen.
Shut up!
I wasn't gonna shut. That so?
$20 on pump number 15 and a sour fruity twist. Is that too much to ask?
No, sir.
Would you please rip the phone cord out of the wall? Thank you. This is for the phone and for the gun. And for the sour fruity twist. At $20 on pump number 15.
Give me the gun.
And there's a wasp in the house. That's why I'm kind of freaking out.
Tesla, take me somewhere I've never been before. Oh shit, where is it?
This ought to be interesting.
Let's see where it takes us. Turn right.
Well, yeah.
Shit, oh my god. The fucking Alaska Airlines Q400. What the fuck is he doing over here?
Hey, I found myself in a bit of a predicament. I'm in the air right now and just kind of soaring around.
Had to plane around. Do you seem comfortable with that?
Oh, hell yeah, it's a blast, man. I played video games before, so I know what I'm doing a little bit. Just a broken guy, got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it till now. Hey, pilot guy, can this thing do a backflip thing? Like a barrel? And back up, down. Okay.
Take a rock for one. The only one just completed a barrel roll.
Yeah, I see you.
Oh my god. What have I done? I don't know what I was expecting when I ordered a 24-foot projector screen. Oh,
I don't think you can get A from sitting on the toilet seat. Unless you sit down before the other guy gets up. I think 7 years is bad luck for breaking a mirror. Shit, I'm breaking a condom.
My mother-in-law told me a long time ago, you want to build straight walls, son, you better not build them gay. Difference in a bucket of shit and an apprentice is that eventually a bucket becomes useful. But I don't drink on the job, I drink because of the job. You can tickle me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you get a.
Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off for a while. My tablet needed to be charged more. But I'll be on later. Peace out. And enjoy yourself. I'll be back after a while.